What's going on, YouTube world? It's Coffee on the vid. Back at it, and so much to get into, so many updates, and man, it feels like we've been here before. Real talk, this YouTube-ish can go too far, and I mean that way too far. I stress you cannot get caught up in this ish, right? I was letting y'all know in a previous video I did a little while back, man, about some ongoing drama and madness within the YouTube blogosphere ish. We all tap in on here to just get news or file different stories, content, whatever it may be, whatever sector of the blogosphere you rock with. This is supposed to be fun, entertainment, right? But it's also the internet. There's a lot of weird motherfuckers out here, and I was pointing earlier back to a time when Milk74 was going in on the wicked mouse team, putting that pressure on him. There was all the happenings in the YouTube prison world, all kinds of shit going on. A real quick sidebar, side note, Mousestein bowed out, man. He is chilling off in the cut somewhere on Mousestein Island. The flight log lists are said to come out at some point, and the wickedness is on display. We know them foul, sick bastards for the demons that they are. But before I carry on and get back off into what I was talking about originally, making that video, shouting out my guy JMilli and other people that I rock with, Lon the Don. I saw Mr. Diddy in the chat. A lot of things we're going to speak about. I wanted to point out another story going on right now that's wild, crazy, man, that just brings up so many intertwined similar situations in the blog sphere. Some maybe on a larger scale, but in a sense it's all one and the same in varying degrees. And I don't know if y'all been following, speaking of all the old prison ish that was going on, right? We had Pino, we had 1090 Jake, there was many other individuals, right? But speaking of 1090 Jake, I don't know if you guys saw the situation that's been going on as of late with this YouTuber Byron Blake, right? Who's been making all kinds of different content, but he's really been putting out a lot of content, getting at 1090 Jake. And everyone, let me know your thoughts on the content that he's put out in regards to 1090 Jake, what you think of it. I think he's done a good job of putting pieces together and, more or less asking the people for their feelings on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's trying to hop on here and just be like, yo, fuck 1090, he's this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? He's putting together different things that are all in the public domain that 1090 Jake put out on his own. And I'm personally a fan of 1090 Jake. There's a lot of people been on his bumper because it seems he dropped his flag. He's switching it up. Like Point and Shoot was talking about, he's a country boy now. He's got some new girl. He's trying to change the content up, it looks like, as well, doing interviews and all that. But Byron Blake has been relentless with the content, and he showed that 1090 has flagged some of his videos, and it's kind of similar to the situation that we see going on with Point and Shoot in No Jumper. If y'all have paid attention to both of those situations, there are very similar some I want to point out in both. With the videos that 1090 Jake flagged of Byron Blake, and with what No Jumper has been doing to Point and Shoot, trying to jam them up, making claims. Like 1090 did a couple claims, but Adam22 is on a whole nother level, trying to stagnate Point and Shoot's process, just flagging them, claims. Some of them we've even seen, if you follow Point and Shoot, he shared on his story where YouTube was flat out like, yo, we're not even gonna allow this strike to go through because it's protected by fair use. But if you pay close attention, the language and stuff that Point and Shoot and Byron Blake both shared, that 1090 Jake and No Jumper has put in their claims and such against the respective channels, are like one and the same. And those cases are going to court from my understanding. And there was an episode in No Jumper where Adam22 was talking about how Vlad was on there. Did y'all hear that? Where he was saying, oh, this fair use stuff, which is protected by law, when they fill these flags out, whatever you want to call it, complaints, it flat out says that you swear under the penalty of perjury. And at the end of the day, that shit's got to go to court. There's a copyright something commission that makes this decision. And 1090 and No Jumpers complaints, which I think both of them are going to go to court if they follow through with it. The language is the exact same. And I really can't see 1090 or No Jumper winning if it goes to court. Like, I really wonder if they're going to see these cases through, because they're full of untruthfulness, in my opinion, because they're saying that the channels are not making transformative work of the content in which they're using some of their content. And the whole fair use guidelines under the fair use rules, right? It's like news, critiquing, reactionary falls into it. I don't think it's directly named in the guidelines, but there's a bunch of different realms, research, etc. I think I already said critiquing. And 1090 and Adam22 both put in those that, like, they are not putting out transformative work. It's basically just copying my work. And that's not true with either of those channels. They're not just reposting their content, they're creating their own original pieces of content off it. But I just found that very interesting with Vladtv being linked up so closely, with Adam22, and Adam22 and 1090 Jake seemingly having a rapport. If you go look, like I said, Byron Blake posted it, Point Shooters posted it in numerous stories. The language, the lingo that they're writing in these emails to YouTube about these court cases or whatever are like the same, except insert different names. And what I'm thinking is that's what Vlad is, whoever attorney out there advised them, like, this is how you get rid of all these channels with the fair use claims, which I think is bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand why individuals get all in their feelings. Like I said, this YouTube shit can just go way too far. But I personally think Vlad is the one that sent this info out, like, this is what my lawyer says you gotta do. You know what I mean? But the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see what happens, what comes out in those court battles. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I feel like No Jumper or 1090 Jake would be wasting money to actually go through with these court cases, because I just can't see how they're going to win. These dudes are using fair use legally. And the crazy thing is, both of those channels use fair use, use other people's clips on their own channels. It's just like, they don't like it when someone else does it. And I get it. Point and Shoot has been cooking the fuck up out of No Jumper in the 16 forever. And, again, 1090 Jake, I'm not dissing him. I got no smoke with him, but he just doesn't like what Byron Blake is doing. He's trying to transition into another part of his YouTube career. He's made a lot of money. He wants to leave all this gang-ish behind and all that, it seems. But it's just another example of how far this YouTube beef shit goes. But for those that follow the Byron Blake channel, I don't know if you guys saw, he just ended up getting locked up for a couple days. Someone called in on him. On his platform, he played the police dispatch about people, whoever called on him, seemingly kind of trying to swat him in a sense, making this call that he was armed or was going to hurt someone. And anyone who knows law enforcement and the way they interact with those kind of calls, they'll basically pull up, guns cocked, locked, ready to rock, whatever the fuck you want to call it, really fearing that someone is about to shoot some shit up. And that's fucked up that someone would call. I'm Byron Blake making those type of claims, because reportedly, allegedly, that's what Byron put out through his videos, and I believe it to be true, that someone called the police, said this dude was driving around armed, took him to jail, and pounded his car. Upon him getting out of jail, going to get his car from the impound lot, he's got a flat, pulls out of the impound lot across the street, fixing his flat, and had footage of the police pulling up on him again, saying that he was armed in the park, you know. And I'm not saying 1090 Jake is the one doing this. Maybe some people think so, but someone is hating on this man in the craziest of ways. And then the crazy situation is someone on top of all this is commenting on this man's social network and saying, yo, look at this dude talking to the police, like someone sitting there back in the cut, spying on him, seeing him talking to the police while he's got the video of the police harassing the shit out of him, that he's armed after getting out of jail, someone calling and saying the same shit. And that's what I mean when I'm just speaking about this YouTube shit going way too far. It just really does, you know, when it comes to channels beefing and the YouTube drama, shit just gets extra hectic. And we just seen it time in and time out of channels going to war, followers of different channels dissing each other, people trying to strike each other's channels, people trying to fuck up people's livelihoods and lives and finding out where they live and doxing them and everything else. And it's just insane at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So tap in, everyone, with your thoughts about all that, everything we've been covering for the longest time, Billy Joel voice and everything going on with point and shoot, no jumper, Byron Blake, 1090 Jake. And then that leads me to this update on what I was speaking of earlier, my homie JMilli, who is the bro. I flux with him heavy, you know what I mean? And he did this video about this individual who was saying all kinds of racist, fucked up ish about people, and saying fucked up ish about the youth and slavery and just all this twisted, fucked up ish. And I was supporting my bro Millie, saying, yo, this is some foul, fucked up ish, man, you know. And Millie's my guy, man. You know what I mean? Anyone who's been watching all this YouTube stuff play out knows I fuck with Millie, Line, the Don, a lot of y'all out there, you know what I mean? Like I shared in my other video, right? I've always been a dude, like I share with everyone. I don't claim to be no gangster, none of that. I always have wanted to be a voiceover artist, report the news, put little presentations together about different topics, sports, music, news, current events, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And interact with y'all and engage in the comments. And Millie has been someone that I've actually built a relationship with, a friendship. Like he's a solid dude outside of the blogosphere, you know what I mean? And we all go through these fucked up things, fucked up situations. We live, we learn, we go through trials and tribulations in life. And, you know, Millie's the bro and I'm supporting him. And I happen to catch his live, and you know, I'll keep it a buck. I haven't seen everything that goes on with all this ish and this individual that Millie's engaged in beef with. I know this is a guy that was caught up in all kinds of ish, and so many things have went down that I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not up on it all, you know what I mean? But I fluck with my guy Millie, and the things that I heard this dude said are foul as fluck, right? Now, flat out, if y'all caught my video earlier, I was letting it be known, yo, I'm not the guy that's going to be out here beefing and doing all this ish or whatever. But I did happen to see a comment from Mr. Diddy, and, you know, I have known for a long time, right, that Diddy flux with other dudes' channel, and you know, Diddy and Millie have had a thing before, but then squashed the issue and have been cool. And Millie himself, as I was pointing out in a previous video, went out of his way to squash the issue with dude that was saying this foul stuff, and really went hard to come to a peaceful resolution. And at this point, you know, with the foul things that dude was saying, he was like, yo, I'm just going in, you know what I mean? And that's what I was saying, like, yo, Millie's the homie. He went out of his way to come to a peaceful resolution. But yet here he is, this dude is saying very foul, hateful stuff. And Mr. Diddy, I see, enters the chat. And again, y'all, I'm not aware of all the ish that has been going on. Anyone who rocks with my channel or, you know, is aware of me probably have seen I haven't been active and consistent in the blogosphere in the way in which I have. Again, though, you know, I fluck with the people that I fluck with, but you know, Diddy has been a bro, you know what I'm saying? And he says this comment, Dub got all the LARPers in their feelings. And again, you know, I'm seeing what dude said to Millie, and I'm like, yo, that's just some foul, twisted stuff that he's saying. You know, I don't know all the shit that's going on, but I did like someone saying that, it's just twisted. It's not righteous, right? But you know, Diddy has always been 100 with me, and I'm like not totally aware of what exactly this comment means. And again, y'all, I'm kind of tying a lot of things together as I do at times with channels going to war, all the internet drama, all the times things cross lines and go too far and, you know, bleed into real life, and just a lot of the shit that we've seen over the years, you know what I'm saying? Going back to when all this prison shit that was going on and the shit that's going on now with these different channels at odds with each other. And, you know, I was totally unaware exactly what Mr. Diddy meant by this comment. Like, to keep it real with y'all, I don't even, like, don't act like I'm some kind of super intelligent dude or college professor or nothing, but I was like, man, I gotta look up what LARPer means. And obviously, LARPer, the definition, and then LARPer, the way it's probably used within conversations and in the blogosphere is probably different than the meaning or whatever, but I've seen people say it before, and to keep it a buck with y'all, I'm just not understanding what it means. But I definitely, you know, Googled it up. What is a LARPer? And I got, a LARPer is someone who participates in live action role playing. This involves physically acting out of the actions and interactions of character within a fictional world or scenario, often with costumes and props. It's a type of interactive role playing game where participants embody their chosen characters through physical actions, not just describing them. And honestly, again, Diddy's always been a bro. And like I said, there was times Diddy and Millie were beef, and then Diddy and Millie are cool. Millie and this dude saying this hateful ish squashed the issue at one point in time, but Millie's like, yo, I'm just not standing for this shit anymore. And this whole LARPer thing, as far as in what context Diddy means, I'm like totally lost by it all. You know what I mean? Like live action role playing. Obviously, I don't think he means it in this way. And obviously, in the blogosphere, slang terminology, or however people use things, like not every word that I use is meant contextually or definitively the way it would, you know what I mean? Like we talk different, and this ain't the Oxford English dictionary, everything used to a T. There's slang, there's people making metaphors and stuff like that, but I'm totally lost as exactly to what Diddy means by this. But I just wanted to make this update video, as you know, those been rocking with me for a long time, or just chopping it up with me, whether we were super tight or we just know each other. You know what I'm saying? I think everyone knows Coffee's just a guy trying to do my content and trying to engage in conversation with everyone out there. And, you know, again, Millie, that's the bro, man. You know what I'm saying? And I caught his live. I'm supporting the homie, and I don't know, this all just kind of came full circle to me too, like thinking about this situation and seeing the comments going on. And then, like I said, following this Byron Blake 1090 Jake situation and seeing that dude just got arrested, and just, I don't know, just so much extra ish goes in and goes on all the time. It's just kind of like mind blowing, you know what I mean? So I just kind of wanted to piece this all together and get everyone's thoughts and feelings about all this and open the comment section as always. You heard? So tap in, comment, everyone. I thank you guys so much for watching. Apologies, I went kind of long on this one, but we're gonna get back to doing the live streams. We're gonna chop it up, coffee talk it up as always. And as always, I'm out here watching the different content, whether it's sports stuff, whether it's shit about no jumper and point shoot, roasting them, or hip hop conversations, or pro wrestling, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm here chopping it up about it all, man. But life, this journey that we're all on, and which I was referencing earlier, is a crazy one. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of wild, full circle. Here we are. Mousestein was banished off to Mousestein Island. Pino's channel picked up and went up with them prison shorts. 1090 Jake, you know what I'm saying, is changing his get down, dropping his flag, it seems, and going at it with Byron Blake. People are getting this dude arrested, more or less trying to swat him, point and shoot, and no jumper, are going to court. JMilli tried to piece it up with dude saying this fucked up stuff. And then, like I said, there's so much other drama and ish going on within different communities in the internet. Like, the internet is truly undefeated. It's a wild place. But like I said, I'm just out here trying to live my life, trying to engage and, coffee talk it up and keep it pushing and live my best life. And, at the end of the day, like, let's use the blogosphere for entertainment and research and networking, and not let the blogosphere get the best of everyone. You know what I mean? Because like they say, the internet is undefeated. So I'm going to try to put a pin in it for this one right now. Like I said, so many different things that I touched on. Look forward to hearing from everyone in the comments. Be safe, y'all. It's coffee. I'm going to get with you guys on the next one. I'm trying to really get back active, get back consistent with the content as I was once before. And, everyone out there, Team Coffee, that rocks with me, I'll fuck with y'all, man. Peace. And I'm going to get with y'all on the next one.